Yo, what is going on, guys? SMA Super Mario Hoops back with some more hoops, and today we are hopping back into my top 50 list in NBA history, and today we got Michael Jordan. Now, where do I got MJ ranked all time? I got him ranked at number 1. So really, this video, this is the very last video for this special, and it's going to be me arguing why MJ is the GOAT. Now, before we hop into this, I'm going to need you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell as well. But without further ado, let's get into Michael Jordan. He was a 14-time All-Star from 1985 to 1993, 1996 to 1998, and in 2002 and 2003 with the Wizards. 10 times he was All-NBA First Team in 1987 and 1993, and then 1996 to 1998, along with being All-NBA Second Team in 1985. He was a 5-time League MVP in 1988, 1991, 1992, 1996, and 1998. The first of those 5, he was also Defensive Player of the Year and became the first player to be an MVP and DPOY in the same season. 9-time All-Defensive First Team member in 1988 to 1993, and then 1996 to 1998. And he won 10 scoring championships, which is the most of all time, in 1987 to 1993, and then 1996 to 1998. A 3-time steals leader in 1988, 1990, and 1993, and a 6-time NBA champion and Finals MVP in 1991 to 1993, and 1996 to 1998, with 2 three-peats and the most Finals MVPs in NBA history. Now, for MVP shares, he received votes on 13 seasons, 10 where he was a top 3 finisher, a 3-time runner-up in 1987, 1989, and 1997, and a 5-time winner. Now, those first 2 years where he was a runner-up, he might not have deserved it more than Magic Johnson, but I definitely think in 1997 he did. MJ led the league in scoring, he was a better defender than Karl Malone, had a better record and actually the second best record in NBA history at that time, only behind his Bulls the year before. And he had more win shares, and Rodman, Longley, and Kukoc each missed over 20 games in the season, while Karl Malone's top 5 teammates missed a combined 6 games, approximately 1 per person. So this could have been and should have been MJ's MVP. Now let's look at where Jordan fares on all-time stats. 30.1 points per game is first all-time, 32,292 points is 5th all-time, 2,514 steals is 3rd all-time, 2.3 steals per game is 3rd all-time, 27.9 PER is 1st all-time, 214 win shares is 5th all-time, 149.9 offensive win shares is 5th all-time, 116.1 VORP rating is 2nd all-time, a 33.3 usage rate is 1st all-time, a .250 win share per 48 rating is 1st all-time, a 7.2 offensive box plus minus is 1st all-time, as well as his 9.2 box plus minus is 1st all-time. Now let's move into Michael Jordan in the playoffs. And it shouldn't come as a surprise. He gets better. His per-game outputs rise. He's just as efficient, higher PER, higher VORP, higher BPM. He's just significantly better. He had 25 points per game in all 37 playoff series, 30 points per game in 28 of 37 playoff series, 35 points per game in 13 playoff series, 40 points per game in 5 playoff series, and even had multiple 45-point per game playoff series, and has the highest career average for points per game in the playoffs as well. He averaged 5 rebounds per game in 32 of 37 playoff series, 5 assists per game in 23 of 37 playoff series, and had 1 series apiece over 10 rebounds per game and 10 assists per game. He shot over 40% from the field in 36 of 37 playoff series. The only one where he didn't, he was still the best player in the series. And he shot over 50% from the field in 17 series, with 1 series above 60% from the field. He shot over 80% from the free throw line in 26 of 37 playoff series, and shot 40% from 3 in, believe it or not, 16 of 37 playoff series. And for those of you wondering, only 3 of those 16 happened in the shortened 3-point line time frame, and he attempted double-digit 3-pointers in over half of them. To be honest, I really don't have much to say about Jordan's playoff career in a timeline fashion like these other guys in the top 50 list. I can boil it all down to a few things. The first one is that looking at Jordan's playoff series record, it's 30 series won and 7 series lost. But as confirmed by Sports Data Journalism, Michael Jordan as a series favorite is 27-0 all-time in playoff series. He never once lost a series where he was favorited to win. Now, obviously, some different betting venues might have different odds, like the 1995 Magic series. However, I'm saying the consensus was that the odds were actually against him. Even in that series, Michael Jordan was still the best player. Even Shaq himself will tell you that. Leading scorer, leading steals man, averaged the same amount of blocks as Shaq, on same efficiency, and a better game score as well. And again, MJ did this right after missing the game for 18 plus months, which for the people out there that have never played sports or never touched the basketball in their life, it's not easy to come back from. Especially the Bron-sexuals who think that more time off is easier. Look at his 2019 season. I mean, LeBron missed 1 month and couldn't get his rhythm back with more time to come back. The only series that you could argue someone outplayed Jordan was his first playoff series in Terry Cummings. He was the only player to ever outscore Jordan in a playoff series by 1 total point. Both averaged around 30 a game, but Jordan was a much better playmaker and defender and had a much wider load instead of Cummings, who had Sidney Moncrief by his side, who was by far the third best player of the series, and a guy that was arguably one of the best at guarding Jordan in NBA history. So I think Jordan was still the best player of the series. And Jordan simply dominated the NBA. In his playoff career, he beat 19 different teams in the playoffs. And of those 19 teams, yes, some of them did beat him, like the Bucks in 1985 or the Bad Boy Pistons, but Jordan got the last laugh and won the last matchup against all of them. Think about this. There were 29 teams maximum in the NBA during Jordan's career. He plays on one, so that makes it 28 teams. And he essentially owned 19 of them in the playoffs. That's literally 2/3 of the entire NBA. And he got the last laugh on all those teams. And other than the Celtics, no other team was able to get to him to avoid that grouping. But in the playoffs, Jordan against Boston put up a remarkable 63 points in a playoff game that still stands as a record today, and 43 point per game average in the series in just year 2, where Larry Bird called the dude God. He owned Cleveland every time. I mean, I'll just put the stat lines on the screen so you can see for yourself. He dominated every matchup. And of course, he never lost a finals series. Now, people always say, well, it's better to lose in the finals than it is to lose in the first round, and try to make jokes about MJ not getting past the first round until Scottie Pippen came along to try and elevate you-know-who's legacy. Well, my response to that is it's better to win the NBA championship than to lose the NBA championship. I mean, there is no player in NBA history with the all-around skill set of Michael Jordan that can say that he won as many rings as him while being in a higher win percentage of those seasons. You just won't find it. I could dissect every finals he was the finals MVP for. I mean, but he was the best player in each one. I'm not going to play around here. For those 6 finals together, he averaged 33.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2.5 turnovers on 48, 37, 81 shooting splits. Guys like Karl Malone, John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Dominique Wilkins, Reggie Miller, and would have been Clyde Drexler too if he didn't get traded in 1995, all would have 0 rings and can blame Michael Jordan for that. He won not once, but twice without an all-star in the same season, and in these finals gave memorable moments. The mid-air hand switch, the shrug game, the original double nickel against the Suns before he repeated in his return from baseball, the chip on Father's Day in the 72-10 year, the greatest single season for a team in history because, yes, the ring plays a big role. The Game 1 pull-up game winner in the flu game in 1997, and what makes the last one so great is that they weren't the favorite. They didn't have home court advantage, and Scottie was not 100% in Game 6. So it's either win now or Game 7 and arguably the hardest arena to play in for any time in NBA history with no guarantee that your sidekick will be there. And he said screw it, and he dropped 45 points, 16 in the fourth, and the best ever multi-play sequence I have ever seen, followed by the greatest shot of all time. Because it literally defines the NBA. It's the most iconic moment you can think of. So when it comes to Michael Jordan, you might think this is funny, but I think he's underrated. People try to make it a debate with him and LeBron. It's just ridiculous. They did the same with MJ and Kobe for years. That ship has sailed. LeBron and Kareem are closer in the 2-3 argument than LeBron is in the 1-2 battle with MJ. But literally, MJ has everything on LeBron. He has more rings. He has more MVPs. He's played with less all-star teammates. He never lost as the heavyweight in the finals. And I get not all those for LeBron justify the same blame, but come on, like his 2011 meltdown, MJ never had that. And how LeBron quit in 2010 and even 2021, Jordan never did that. Jordan is the greatest scorer ever. He's the greatest offensive player of his time for sure, and one of the best defensive players of his time too. Anytime he saw a challenge or a threat, he would keep working to get better. He didn't team up with the best of the league has to offer in South Beach, and then form another big 3 in Cleveland, and then serve as a player GM in LA. Because back then, players had nowhere near the power to make big business decisions for an organization like they do now. It just doesn't compare. Stuff like PER, BPM, offensive box plus minus. LeBron is second for all time in all those. but he still trails Michael Jordan. And in the end, Jordan has had a larger impact on the game. The GOAT convo really shouldn't exist, and that's why Michael Jordan is underrated. Not because his placement, because I know most people still have number one, as they should, but I take that very personally. But anyways, that concludes my top 50 list for my 5K special, which again, thank you guys for 5K subs. I don't think I've really said that since the very first video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to rattle off my full list one more time in case you don't know how to check my playlist or anything like that. It is in order there though. And again, don't get mad. This is my list and I cannot possibly make everybody happy. So here's the final rundown. My main honorable mention, Alex English. At 50, Carmelo Anthony. 49, Kevin McHale. 48, Paul Pierce. 47, Gary Payton. 46, Jason Kidd. 45, Pistol Pete Maravich. 44, Reggie Miller. 43, Allen Iverson. 42, James Harden. 41, Walt Frazier. 40, Bob Pettit. 39, Dominique Wilkins. 38, Chris Paul. 37, James Worthy. 36, Steve Nash. 35, Scottie Pippen. 34, Elvin Hayes. 33, Patrick Ewing. 32, George Gervin. 31, David Robinson. 30, Willis Reed. 29, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 28, Charles Barkley. 27, Clyde Drexler. 26, Rick Barry. 25, Isaiah Thomas. 24, Kawhi Leonard. 23, Dwayne Wade. 22, Elgin Baylor. 21, Kevin Garnett. 20, Dirk Nowitzki. 19, Stephen Curry. 18, John Havlicek. 17, Dr. J. Julius Erving. 16, Moses Malone. 15, Karl Malone. 14, Kevin Durant. 13, Bill Russell. 12, Jerry West. 11, Hakeem Olajuwon. 10, Tim Duncan. 9, Oscar Robertson. 8, Wilt Chamberlain. 7, Shaquille O'Neal. 6, Magic Johnson. 5, Larry Bird. 4, Kobe Bryant. 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2, LeBron James. And number 1, the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this special. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. Peace. That 6K special will be nowhere near as long. I'm going to say that right now.